But now Nikki Haley's out, and so the whole party is coalescing behind Donald Trump. Even Mitch McConnell endorsed him today. Mitch, I mean, man, you said Trump did an insurrection. Trump said racist shit about your Asian wife, and you endorsed him again? I mean, what is wrong with your brain, other than that thing that's obviously wrong with your brain? So now it's officially Trump and Biden. They crushed the primaries like it was an audition for a Life Alert commercial. And you know what? You know what, America? I don't want to hear any more complaining, okay? Everyone's bitching about how much you don't want to be Trump and Biden, and then all you do is pick Trump and Biden, okay? You all say you hate them, but at least a couple million of you are lying. And now what? The primaries are just done now? Where was the twist? Where was the drama? I swear, if someone doesn't murder their fiancé on the Love is Blind finale tonight, I'm smashing my TV. Although, to be fair, there was a little bit of drama. Democrats did give Joe Biden some trouble yesterday.
In Minnesota, nearly 20% of Democrats voting uncommitted instead of voting for Biden. A significant protest vote fueled by concerns about his age and support over Israel.
Joe Biden lost American Samoa to a little-known candidate named Jason Palmer, 51 votes to 40.
Hell yeah, Jason Palmer! Look at him go! Oh, quick question though. Who the f is Jason Palmer? I've never seen this bloated Matt Damon in my life. Suddenly he wins American Samoa? I mean, this must be a fascinating guy with an interesting background. Tell me more.
Palmer's biography holds him up as a political outsider. He calls himself an education and tech entrepreneur.
Okay, pass, hard pass. I don't need another generic white guy tech entrepreneur, okay? No thanks. I can't believe this is who Sid from Toy Story became. But as boring as this dude was, if you watch his campaign video, you'll see that he had one thing going for him. Correct pronunciation.
Hello, Falaba. I'm Jason Palmer. American Samoa, I'm asking for your vote in the Democratic caucus on March 5th.
Yeah, American Samoa. I also can pronounce it correctly. Just like when I visited Chile and Barcelona, where I ate a croissant. That's how underrepresented Pacific Islanders are. If you can say that name correctly, you'll sweep the vote. But still, how could he be so popular in American Samoa when no one knows him here in the mainland?
You're probably wondering, who is this Jason Palmer? I've never heard of him before. Well, in the mainland, I'm actually very well known.
Wow, I actually respect that. This dude is going down there like, hey, I'm the most famous man in America. You guys don't have the internet, right? Here's what I think really happened. American Samoa got together and voted for this guy as a PR move because they need it. America doesn't give them citizenship or votes. Most Americans don't even know that American Samoa is part of America, even though it's in the name. So he just let this random guy win the primary, and all of a sudden we're talking about them. Now everyone's saying like, wait, this is a place that's part of America? Not just a cookie? I mean, we should let this cookie vote. But between the protest vote in Minnesota and the upset in American Samoa, the Democratic Party has had some tensions. For more on these results, let's go to Grace Kuhlenschmidt live from American Samoa. Grace, what is the mood over there?
Ronnie, I've been walking up and down this beach all day, and let me tell you, the mood is great. People are smiling, the sand is soft, I can see whales. I'm falling in love with politics all over again.
You know, that's great insight. For more on Minnesota's uncommitted vote, let's go to Michael Costa in Duluth. Michael, what are you seeing on the ground there?
What am I seeing? I'm seeing Grace in an island paradise while Michael Costa's stuck in a Duluth parking lot. According to an exit poll I conducted with myself, these results f***ing suck. Why did Grace get to go to American Samoa?
Sorry, where's American Samoa? I'm in American Samoa.
Yeah. Michael, maybe if you had some cultural sensitivity, you could be there too. Grace, what are voters saying about what they want from the Democratic Party?
A lot, Ronnie. I've talked to a bunch of voters. One of them is a very cute volleyball instructor, and later I'm going surfing with one of the Rock's cousins.
Great. And Michael, have you talked to any of the Rock's cousins?
They're not here, dude. Nobody cool is here, all right? It's just me a sunny beach? I hate democracy. This sucks.
Ouch, Michael. I'll have you know it's not always perfect here. It rained this morning. The rainbow that it made over the mountains was just so beautiful. I'm not usually spiritual, but like, I got it, you know?
Yeah. That's amazing. Grace, it sounds like you need to stay there a bit longer. We'll set you up. Michael, hey, you stay out there too. What?
No, I want to come home, Ronnie.
No. We can't afford to fly you home if we're going to pay for Grace to stay out there.
What?
Yeah, Michael, have some respect. I'm reporting. Excuse me, could I get another complimentary Mai Tai? I'm very well known on the mainland.
All right. Grace Coolin, Michael Cost, everybody.
We're Cafe William. We want to make the most sustainable coffee by shipping it via zero-emission sailboat.
Let's begin with the debate over in vitro fertilization. Last week, the Alabama Supreme Court threw the future of IVF into doubt by ruling that frozen embryos that are less than 1/10 of a millimeter, by the way, are legally humans. And I'm sorry, but if you can pass through a spaghetti strainer, you're not human. And now, Republicans who've spent years and years insisting that every embryo is touched by God are suddenly saying, oh, well, we didn't mean in a way that makes us unpopular.
A lot of GOP's top brass are now trying to scramble to get on the side of supporting IVF.
The Republican Senate campaign arm jumped on the issue by sending out this memo on Friday, urging that, quote, it is imperative that our candidates align with the public's overwhelming support for IVF and fertility treatments. House Speaker Mike Johnson also came out in support of IVF treatment and called it a blessing for many moms and dads who have struggled with fertility.
IVF is something that is so critical to a lot of couples. It helps them breed great families. Our country needs that.
Okay, that's too far in the other direction, okay? Did this guy just say breed great families? Are you trying to run a country or get us into the Westminster dog show? This guy must really clean up at the nightclub. Like, yo, girl, look, you got those straight teeth and detached earlobes. I want to genetically pass that on to my litter, you know? But you know what? Better late than never. So now that Republicans are on board with IVF, I'm sure they'll jump at the opportunity to pass a law to protect it.
A Republican senator has blocked the passage of a bill to protect access to in vitro fertilization nationwide. Senator Sidney Hines Smith of Mississippi objected to the measure's approval yesterday.
The bill before us today is a vast overreach that is full of poison pills that go way too far beyond ensuring legal access to IVF. It would legalize human cloning. It would legalize gene-edited designer babies and lift the federal ban on the creation of 3-parent embryos. It would legalize the creation of human-animal chimeras.
First of all, chimeras? I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I know it's not that. And secondly, you're not going to protect IVF because you're worried that someone might put, like, a human head on a giraffe's body? Why on earth would you want to stop that? That sounds awesome. I could be eating a tree right now, you know? Republicans are treating IVF the way I treat reading books. I'm always like, oh, I'm going to read so many books this year. I love reading. But when it actually comes time to read, I'm like, not for me, you know? And to be clear, none of this stuff that senator was warning us about is real. They're just looking for excuses to ban IVF, which to me is crazy. Why would you want to criminalize one of the only times you can masturbate for a good cause? Trust me, I've tried jacking it for leukemia and people were not happy. Let's move on. I don't know about you guys, but I eat food. Do you eat food? I knew you ate food, but when I'm at the grocery store, I can never figure out which foods are actually healthy. this one is low fat but high in sodium. This one has vitamin C but also polymonofibers. Now I'm staring at ingredient labels until the store closes. I'm trapped inside. My wife finds a new husband to breed with. It's a mess. But luckily, the FDA is coming to the rescue.
The FDA potentially rolling out a new logo as soon as this year. For companies to stamp on food packaging, they say it would clear any confusion on what products actually should be considered good for you. Right now, only 3% of foods are currently allowed to claim their food as healthy.
Wait, what? Just 3% of foods qualify as healthy? God, please hope that fruit roll-ups are in that 3%. God, please hope that fruit roll-ups are 3%. But yeah, the FDA is going to make a logo to help people choose healthy foods, which, good luck with that. This is America. It's a victory if we can get people to unwrap things before eating them. But I believe we do need a logo identifying healthy foods. I just don't think it should be one of these boring-ass options. Am I trying to have breakfast cereal or do tax prep? If you want people to eat healthy foods, you got to make the logo look cool, like Jordan holding broccoli. And finally, let's talk about a major update in the ongoing battle between Donald Trump and karma. He's on trial. He's on trial right now for trying to overthrow the government, a pretty big faux pas. But recently, his lawyers threw out a Hail Mary legal claim that says he's immune from being charged for anything he did while president. And now his buddies on the Supreme Court are saying, maybe.
This morning, the U.S. Supreme Court handing Donald Trump the gift of time. The justices agreeing to decide whether the Republican frontrunner should be immune from federal charges because his attempts to reverse the 2020 election happened while he was still in office.
We will never give up. We will never concede.
In a one-page order, the High Court saying it will hear arguments in the case the week of April 22nd. But with no firm date for its final ruling, the prospect of a federal criminal trial being completed before the November election becoming increasingly unrealistic.
Legally speaking, his strategy has long been to delay. Here he gets help in doing that from the highest court in the land, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop it.
I cannot believe this. This dude, he's slipping out of everything. Is he some sort of human eel chimera? He started his campaign with 4 different cases against him, and he's going to run out the clock on all of them. There's the stolen documents case. You got a Trump-friendly judge. The Georgia case has been completely sidetracked by 2 of the prosecutors f***ing each other. Now the January 6th case is getting delayed due to a legal theory that nobody thinks is legit except for maybe the judges he hired. The only case that might be finished before the election is the Stormy Daniels case, and based on the way things are going, I bet that judge is going to get stuck in a Venus flytrap or something. I don't know. You'd think with so many cases against him, one of them would stick. But he's actually using that to his advantage, saying he needs to delay the cases so he has time to prepare for the other ones. It's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger is getting attacked by 2 guys and he bonks their heads together. They're both out for the rest of the movie. For more on the Supreme Court delay, we go live to Washington, D.C. with our very own Desi Leidig.
New Yogo Strawberry Duos. Made with
Election day isn't that far off. How soon do you think the Supreme Court could warn?
Well, Michael, that depends. When is Election Day?
November 5th.
They'll rule on November 6th.
So this is purely political.
No, it only looks entirely that way. But you have to remember how complicated this issue is. The justices have a very difficult legal question to answer. Can the president break the law anytime he wants? Hard to say. Hard to say. Constitutionally speaking, can he burn down the White House for insurance money? Can he set a bomb on a bus that'll detonate if the bus goes below 50 miles per hour? Can he stick his penis in a barrel of warm coffee beans at Whole Foods? These are not easy questions to answer.
Yeah, aren't they though? I mean, to me, all these cases seem pretty open and shut.
Okay, did you go to Harvard Law School?
No.
Well, I did, to use their bathroom once. And because I have that legal background, I understand that these things take time.
They're gonna need 2 weeks to read briefs, another 2 to debrief. Then you need a silent retreat from the briefs. You rebrief, lots of stretching and hydrating, and then it's July, which of course is French American Heritage Month, and that is very sacred to Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
I think he's Irish. Here's the thing. There has to be some way to get this decided before the election. Can't they work around the clock? Democracy is hanging in the balance.
Okay, but what about the other balance? Work-life balance. Grind culture is killing all of us. I mean, look at me. 1 minute I'm reporting from the Middle East, and the next I'm flying to D.C. to stand here in front of this very real Supreme Court. I'm exhausted, and that's all on top of my cardiology practice.
You're a doctor?
I used a lot of med school bathrooms, yes. Look, the point is the justices are human beings like the rest of us with full lives. They need time for things like being with their families, traveling in their Winnebago, keeping Donald Trump out of prison, playing golf.
Wait. What was the last thing you said?
Golf. They love golf.
Okay. Legal expert Desi Leidick, everyone.
Mossad will do anything. Mossad has no qualms doing what it takes to ensure the survival of every Israeli citizen around the world. Most other countries will stop at some point, but Mossad doesn't do that.
The following is a conversation with Andrew Bustamante, former CIA covert intelligence officer and U.S. Air Force combat veteran, including the job of operational targeting, encrypted communications, and launch operations for 200 nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. Andrew's over 7 years as a CIA spy have given him a skill set and a perspective on the world that is fascinating to explore. This is the Lex Friedman Podcast. To support it, please check out our sponsors in the description. And now, dear friends, here's Andrew Bustamante. The Central Intelligence Agency was formed almost 75 years ago. What is the mission of the CIA? How does it work?
The mission of the CIA is to collect intelligence from around the world that supports a national security mission and be the central repository for all other intelligence agencies so that it's one collective source where all intelligence can be synthesized and then passed forward to the decision makers.
That doesn't include domestic intelligence. It's primarily looking outward outside the United States.
Correct. CIA is the foreign intelligence collection king spoke, if you will. FBI does domestic, and then Department of Homeland Security does domestic. Law enforcement essentially handles all things domestic. Intelligence is not law enforcement, so we technically cannot work inside the United States.
Is there clear lines to be drawn between, like you just said, the FBI, CIA, FBI, and the other U.S. intelligence agencies like the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, Department of Homeland Security, NSA, National Security Agency, and there's a list.
There's a list of about 33 different intelligence organizations. Yeah,
so like the Army, the Navy has all the different organizations have their own intelligence groups. So is there clear lines here to be drawn, or is the CIA the giant integrator of all of these?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. So yes, there are absolutely lines, and more so than the lines, there are lines that divide what our primary mission is. Everything's got to be prioritized. That's one of the benefits and the superpowers of the United States, is we prioritize everything. So different intelligence organizations are prioritized to collect certain types of intelligence. And then within the confines of how they collect, they're also given unique authorities. Authorities are a term that's directed by